Can you imagine a quiet Malaysian boy ending up living like the real-life Wolf of Wall Street, conning the global banking system, Hollywood stars, and an entire country? When Leonardo DiCaprio won the Golden Globe in 2014 for The Wolf of Wall Street, in his acceptance speech, he thanked the production team, including Riz and Jho.
Thank you to the entire production team, Riz and Jho. Thank you.
Referring to Jho Low and Riza Aziz, key players in our real-life financial drama. Who knew a Hollywood awards show would intersect with an international fraud? Meet Low Tuk Jho, or as the world would come to know him, Jho Low, the mastermind behind one of the biggest financial heists in history. There have been scandals like Enron, Bernie Madoff, and the FTX crypto with Sam Bankman-Fried, but none of them was as outrageous as the 1MDB scandal with Jho Low as the protagonist. It's 2012 and Jho Low is partying with Leonardo DiCaprio, Paris Hilton, and Jamie Foxx. Champagne flows like water, and money is no object. But where did all this money come from? Let's rewind a bit. Our story begins in Penang, Malaysia. Born in 1981 into a wealthy family, young Jho attended Harrow School in London, rubbing shoulders with future billionaires and politicians. Imagine a school so posh it makes Hogwarts look like a public library. That's Harrow. Founded in 1572, it's the school for the global elite. 7 British PMs, an Indian Prime Minister, and enough Middle Eastern royalty to fill a small kingdom. And right in the middle of this fancy pants parade, our boy Jho Low rubbing elbows with future kings of Brunei and Kuwait, plus Riza Aziz, stepson of Malaysia's defense minister Najib Razak. Low's family wasn't exactly scraping by. They had a $15 million fortune from their garment business. But in this crowd, that's practically coupon clipping territory. So what's an aspiring big shot to do? Fake it till you make it, of course. When his classmates came to visit him at Penang in 1999, Low borrowed a local billionaire's holiday home and yacht, swapped out the family photos, and earned the nickname Prince of Malaysia, a title Low wore like a crown, never bothering to set the record straight. But why stop there? Low decided to level up his con game in his final year at Harrow. Using some creatively borrowed Brunei embassy letterhead, he smooth-talked his way into a swanky London nightclub. Before he could say fake ID, he was living it up with Premier League soccer stars and supermodels. Little did he know, he was just warming up for the big leagues of deception. In 2001, Low enrolled at the business-focused Wharton School in the US. Instead of cracking books, he liked cracking champagne bottles open and throwing lavish parties. Soon he was dubbed the Asian Great Gatsby. For Low, these weren't parties, they were calculated investments bankrolled by his social climbing father Larry, who valued connections over report cards. In one of those parties, Low set his sights on Hamad Al-Wazan, son of a Kuwaiti construction tycoon, seeing him as his golden ticket to the Middle Eastern elite. In 2003, he tagged along with Wazan on a Persian Gulf states tour, ending up in Abu Dhabi. There, Low managed to wrangle an intro to Yusuf Al-Otaiba, a smooth-talking policy advisor with connections to the Emirates' crown prince. Little did they know, this meeting set the stage for a heist that would make Ocean's 11 look like a game of Go Fish. If you wanted to rub elbows with the Emirates bigwigs back then, Khaldoon Khalifa Al-Mubarak was your man. Not only was he tight with the royals, but as director of Mubadala, a state-owned investment company, he was sitting pretty on $3.5 billion. With Mubarak in his contact book, Low scored his first big break. Low played matchmaker when Malaysia's sovereign wealth fund, Khazanah Nasional, was looking for partners in the Iskandar Economic Zone project. Faster than you can say ka-ching, he presented Khazanah with a $500 million investment offer from Mubadala. The deal went through, but in a twist of political genius, Low let his influential buddy Najib Razak take the credit to teach us a lesson about playing the long game. Inspired by Mubarak's money moves, Low dreamed up his own sovereign wealth fund with himself as the puppet master. Opportunity knocked when Najib became Malaysia's prime minister in 2008. Najib and his party needed a popularity boost, and Low was ready to help, for for a small favor called control over an investment fund, Low sold Najib on the Middle East as the only legit investment source, with himself as the sole middleman. One Malaysia Development Berhad, 1MDB, was born to create high-quality jobs for Malaysians of all ethnic backgrounds, hence the slogan, One Malaysia. On paper, Najib was the chairman, but behind the scenes, Low was the puppeteer pulling the strings. 1MDB's official mission? Rake in money from the Persian Gulf oil-rich states for Malaysian green energy, tourism, and job creation. Its unofficial mission? Prime Minister's piggy bank, funding vote-winning goodies like scholarships and housing projects. It seemed like a win-win, but as they say, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably involves a guy named Jho Low. In August 2009, Low pulled one of his classic tricks. He rented a luxury yacht and slapped on some fake logos to pretend it belonged to the Saudi prince Turki bin Abdullah. He then invited Najib on a cruise to the French Riviera where he introduced him to Prince Turki and his totally not made-up oil company, PetroSaudi. The pitch? PetroSaudi would throw in $2.5 billion worth of oil rights, 1MDB would chip in a measly $1 billion in cash. Najib bit, hook, line, and sinker. Low had hit the motherlode, and he was about to make it rain. The joint venture between 1MDB and PetroSaudi was the first phase of Low's scheme. Low wasted no time packing 1MDB with his cronies, setting the stage for Act 2 of his grand financial opera. He set up a joint venture account with BSI, a private Swiss bank that handled PetroSaudi's accounts. When Low casually mentioned taking a slice of the $1 billion Malaysian pie, BSI balked. But no worries, in the world of shady banking, there's always a plan B. Enter JP Morgan Suisse, ready to handle Low's fishy money. Unable to simply pocket the cash, Low orchestrated a bizarre $700 million payment from 1MDB to another Swiss account supposedly owned by PetroSaudi, disguised as a loan repayment. The kicker? No one bothered to check if such a loan even existed. Spoiler alert, it didn't. On September 26, 2009, 1MDB's board hit the transfer button, sending $1 billion into the ether. A billion-dollar deal was wrapped up faster than a fast food order. Low had just siphoned $700 million into his personal piggy bank. This wasn't some elaborate Ocean's 11-style heist. It was more like walking into a bank, asking for all of the money, and walking out while everyone waved goodbye. Instead of laying low, pun intended, Mr. Low decided it was party time. He jetted back to the US, ready to show the world how to spend money. Between October 2009 and 2010, Low burned through $85 million on booze, Playboy bunnies, and private jets to Vegas. He once sent Lindsay Lohan's table 23 bottles of Cristal champagne. Another night, he spent $160,000 at a single Chelsea nightclub. The Department of Justice's list of 1MDB-related shopping sprees makes even the Kardashians blush. Prime Minister Najib received $730 million in 4 payments from 2011 to 2014. Kadim El-Kabaisi, ex-managing director of Abu Dhabi's IPIC, pocketed $472.8 million. Millions more went to 1MDB officials. Ex-Goldman bankers Roger Ng and Tim Leissner got $35.1 and $73.4 million respectively. Jho Low splurged $27 million on a pink diamond pendant for Najib's wife, bought 12 properties worth over $350 million, a $35 million private jet, nearly $10 million in jewelry, and $137 million in artwork. He spent $250 million on the luxury yacht Equanimity and invested $100 million in EMI Music. Some say crime doesn't pay, unless you're really good at it. But please don't try this at home. When Low met DiCaprio in late 2010, he offered the star something even his Titanic paycheck couldn't buy: independence from Hollywood studios. DiCaprio had the rights to Jordan Belfort's memoir, The Wolf of Wall Street, a tale of Wall Street excess that was too hot for traditional studios to handle. Enter Low with his newly minted film production company, Red Granite. He agreed to bankroll the entire project, giving DiCaprio free rein. The irony of a movie about financial fraud being funded by financial fraud was apparently lost on everyone involved. The money started flowing in April 2011. A month later, he threw a $3 million party in Cannes to announce Red Granite's arrival, complete with a $1 million performance by Kanye West. Even Jordan Belfort, the real Wolf of Wall Street, smelled something fishy. He told his wife Low was running a fucking scam. High praise from the king of scams himself. In 2012, Low pulled off another billion-dollar heist involving 1MDB and a bar, an Abu Dhabi sovereign wealth fund subsidiary. Already knee-deep in shenanigans, 1MDB decides to borrow another $6.5 billion from investors. And who's backing most of this debt? The Malaysian government. Of that $6.5 billion, $2.6 billion decided to take a little vacation from 1MDB's accounts and jet off to the conspirators' personal piggy banks. More than $1 billion moonwalked its way into a Swiss bank account belonging to a company called Abar, a fake company registered with the same name by the real Abar officials Kubaisi and Husseini in the British Virgin Islands. But every party must end, and Low's was about to crash. In 2009, Low had shelled out a hefty sum to Turkey and other intermediaries for their part in the 1MDB scheme. However, Petros Saudi, the front company facilitating the deal, was not so careful. Its former director, Swiss national Xavier Justo, was still owed $2 million. Justo had threatened his former employer, warning them he would expose the incriminating documents in his possession if they didn't settle his dues. They chose to ignore his warning. So, Mr. Justo decided to spill the beans to a British journalist, exposing Low's first heist. Suddenly, the jig was up. In 2015, the scandal broke wide open. Investigations revealed that approximately $4.5 billion had been misappropriated. Jho Low's fairy tale began to crumble. The scandal rocked Malaysia, leading to Najib's downfall and subsequent arrest. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison in 2020 for his role in the scandal. Back in Hollywood, the fallout was massive. Leonardo DiCaprio returned artwork gifted by Jho, including Marlon Brando's Oscar. The lavish parties were over. The FBI and the Department of Justice stepped in, seeking to recover assets bought with stolen funds. Luxury real estate, the $250 million yacht Equanimity, and even rights to the movie Dumb and Dumber 2. As for our boy Jho, last seen somewhere in China, probably trying to convince pandas to invest in his next foolproof scheme. Despite multiple attempts to capture him, Jho Low remains a fugitive, living off the vast fortune he managed to steal. So next time you watch The Wolf of Wall Street, think about the real-life wolf, Jho Low, and the billions that disappeared in one of the biggest financial scandals the world has ever seen. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.